Welcome to Talk Maniac. For years we've been told a simple story about the world, that the United States is declining, that China is rising, that a new multipolar order is replacing American dominance. But then something strange happened. The United States openly intervened in Venezuela. Iran came under direct military and covert pressure, two countries deeply tied to China's energy supply. And China did almost nothing. No military response, no serious retaliation, no red lines. So today's question is uncomfortable but necessary. If China is a superpower, why didn't it protect its closest partners? And the bigger question, what does that mean for every smaller country watching from the sidelines? Let's start with a basic reality. China runs on energy. By the mid-20s, China was consuming around 16 million barrels of oil per day, making it one of the largest oil consumers in human history. It produces some oil, yes, but it still imports more than half of what it needs. That's where Venezuela and Iran come in. Venezuela holds some of the largest oil reserves on Earth. Iran is consistently among the top oil reserve holders globally. China didn't just buy oil from them. China lent Venezuela over $10 billion, repaid in oil, invested roughly $18 billion in Venezuelan infrastructure, built specialized refineries inside China, designed specifically for Venezuelan crude. Iran followed a similar pattern. Oil for cash, oil for investment, oil for sanctions avoidance trade routes. These were not casual relationships, they were strategic. So when the US moved against Venezuela and then escalated pressure on Iran, China didn't just lose friends, it lost energy security, loan repayments, and long-term leverage, yet it still didn't intervene. A lot of people say, this is just about oil. That's only half true. Oil is the weapon. China is the target. The US strategy here is indirect. Instead of confronting China head-on, Washington is undermining China's supply chains, destabilizing China's energy partners, and forcing regime change in countries aligned with Beijing. Think of it like cutting the roots instead of attacking the tree. If Venezuela and Iran fall under governments friendly to Washington, China's oil access shrinks, China's loans freeze, and China's overseas investments become stranded assets. That creates economic pressure without firing a shot at China itself. This is proxy pressure, not proxy war. And it fits perfectly with a revived version of the Monroe Doctrine. The idea that certain regions of the world must remain under US influence, no matter what. This is the heart of the issue. China had three options: military deterrence, economic retaliation, or strategic patience. It chose the third. Reason 1. China avoids wars it can't control. China studies history obsessively, and history teaches one brutal lesson. Rising powers that fight premature wars usually lose everything. The US can sustain multiple conflicts, endless sanctions, and intelligence wars across continents. China can't afford that yet. A direct confrontation over Venezuela or Iran would risk US-China trade, trigger financial retaliation, and delay China's technological ambitions. From Beijing's perspective, that's not worth it. Reason 2. China's real battlefield is technology. China is betting on a different future, not one dominated by aircraft carriers and invasions, but by artificial intelligence, satellite warfare, renewable energy dominance, and semiconductor independence. There was a quiet signal of this during the India-Pakistan conflict, where Chinese satellite and jamming technology reportedly outperformed Western hardware. China believes, you don't need to fight today if you can dominate tomorrow. That's why it absorbs losses now, and keeps building. Reason 3. China doesn't believe in allies. This part is, honestly, a little uncomfortable, especially for smaller countries. China does not operate on ideological loyalty. It doesn't see friends the way the United States once did. China sees markets, supply routes, investments, and strategic conveniences. When those are threatened, China recalculates, it issues statements, it condemns aggression, but it does not send soldiers. Iran, Syria, Venezuela have all learned this the hard way. This is where, the story stops being abstract, because this isn't really about China or the United States, it's about everyone in between. Many smaller nations believe, if we align with China, we'll be protected from Western pressure. Recent events suggest otherwise. China will trade with you. China will invest. China will buy your resources. but if a major power comes knocking with force, China is unlikely to bleed for you. Russia isn't much different anymore. That leaves smaller states in a pretty dangerous position, too independent for the United States, too expendable for China. In this kind of world, sovereignty becomes fragile. The article describes today as an interregnum, a moment where the old order is collapsing, the new order hasn't formed, and power is, well, raw, aggressive, and unstable. In this gap, the United States acts unilaterally, China waits strategically, international law weakens, and smaller countries lose protection. This is not a stable multipolar world, it's a transitional one. And transitions, yeah, are usually violent. So let's end with the real question. Not, why didn't China help Iran or Venezuela? But this, if China won't protect its partners, what kind of global power does it actually want to be? A military shield? No. An ideological leader? No. A long-game economic empire, built on patience, technology, and selective engagement? Very likely. That strategy may succeed. But until it does, the world remains dangerous for anyone caught between giants. And that's the reality of power in 2026. This is Talk Maniac. If you want deep analysis beyond headlines, you know where to be.